Hey, check out our sponsor, MMAHQ.com.
The hair.
The hair is fabulous,
like
actually. This hair is
Got a
fabulous.
little glare.
Hi.
Because it's glaring right back into the camera.
But he's getting the beams.
I'm getting my
He's
vitamin
getting
D
his
for the day.
beams. Hi, this is Kristen Brown, and I'm with thegarb.com, and I'm here with Big Dan, Big Tan Dan. How are we doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Nick Lembo. I appreciate that.
Are you getting enough rays right now?
This is perfect. I have to sit here for 2 more hours. I gotta catch up a little bit.
I'm trying to catch up with you.
See?
I went for a spray tan. How does it look?
Spray tan. That's cheating.
I'm sorry. I was a little albino, and I wanted to get some color before my debut.
All right. Well, you look good. You look good.
Thank you.
A couple more shades there, you'll be all right.
Okay. So you're here at the Ring of Combat 36, doing a little reffing. How did you get into this?
I started martial arts when I was 14. I broke my neck when I was 14, so when I was healing after that, I started doing martial arts and stuck with it. About 22 years ago, I opened up my own school, and I was teaching Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and shoot fighting. And
how did you break your neck?
Swimming at the beach, body surfing. Simple. I wish I could make up a great story. Football, no. Swimming at the beach.
You can make up a great story because that just sounds horrible. Was it the ocean at least?
Yes, I broke my neck on Sunday morning, and I went to the hospital the following Monday to get checked out.
Okay.
And then I found I had 2 broken vertebrae in my neck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. After riding lightning loops, a great adventure, having fun.
Wow. Okay. So we know you from the UFC, but you're also here at the Rock.
Oh yeah. Jersey.
How long have you been doing this exactly? When did you start? What year?
I started running my own shows, Bama Fight Nights, back in '93, and then I got hired with the commission here when it became legal and sanctioned in '96.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the MMA not being legal in New York? Are you doing anything to try to help it become legal?
Well, we try to, put on a good show. We try to let everybody be informed. This is not barbaric and cockfighting. This is really, it's a sport. These fighters are trained athletes. They go through crazy training, nutrition, diet, everything. I mean, these are trained athletes, just like football, baseball, soccer. To not sanction it in any state is ridiculous because they're losing money on it. It's just, It's growing, it's getting bigger and bigger, and everybody's doing their job. Ring of Combat was one of the first shows in Jersey, once it became legal, to run, and this is their 36th event, I believe you just said, correct?
36.
And we've had
big show tonight. You have Pete Sell back.
Yeah, you've had UFC here, Bellator, Strikeforce, Elite XC, IFL was here all the time. Ring of Combat, forget about it. They're the front runners right here. These guys. I was running Bama Fight Nights. I ran 24 shows in Jersey, and like I said, it wasn't sanctioned yet. We started out doing shoot fighting rules, where you could do rope escapes.
Okay.
And then we went from there to MMA rules. Back then it was called NHB, no holds barred. Yeah. And it was great. I mean, a lot of these guys, Peter Sells, he fought in our show. Matt Serra, Nick Serra. A bunch of guys fought.
Yeah, you have a lot of guys coming from smaller shows like this, moving up to the big toe, moving up to the UFC.
Yep, without a doubt. And like I said, it's getting more publicity. I mean, you can't go to a store without walking around and somebody saying, "Oh my God, I've seen you on TV refereeing the fights." Fighters are recognized all over the place now, just like football and baseball players are.
Right. Well, when I first saw you tonight, I got butterflies in my stomach. I was very excited. I'm a big fan myself. So I heard you say also that you coach football, and what else do you coach? Or baseball?
Yeah, well, my kids are older now. They're my oldest son DJ is graduating this year from Henry Hudson High School in Atlantic Highlands, and my youngest one is a sophomore. And I've coached them since they were in T-ball and soccer at 4 and 5 years old. And my wife is a PTO director. She was a team parent for me every year. I was the football coordinator for Keensburg Pop Warner football. I was the vice president of baseball in Atlantic Highlands for St. Hook Little League. So I've been with kids. I like kids. Kids they're just, you get to watch them grow and get better and better. And that's why I like the amateurs too. I mean, I go to a lot of the amateur shows out in Pennsylvania because I can still referee amateur there. And I love watching these kids coming up. It's like watching high school ball, college ball, and pro ball.
So do your kids train?
My kids only train in July and August because they do football, soccer, baseball, and basketball. So in July and August, every year I get to train my kids, and that's it, 2 months a year.
Okay. So what do you think about Dana saying that the fights coming up are going to be 5 rounds, the main event fights?
Well, it's always that. Every championship fights 5 rounds.
No, not just the championship. The main event fights are going to be 5 rounds now.
I never heard about that, honestly. I didn't hear.
Do you not, go on the underground?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't go online. I am not.
I just called you out, by the way.
What did you say?
I just called you out.
No, I honestly, I really don't. I don't go online hardly at all.
Okay.
I really don't. So I didn't even know that was a rule, or they're trying to make that a rule. I knew the main events, the championship belt fight.
The championship fights are 5 rounds, but now all main event fights from now on, this point on, are going to be 5 rounds.
I don't see anything wrong with it because let's face it, a lot of times, you win one round, you don't do so great the second round, and then you can have draws there. I mean, 5 rounds is good. You got to put it all on the line.
Right.
I like it. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I'll tell him that you said that.
Thank you. Let him know. Dana, good idea.
I just did my little cackle. Sorry. Okay. And what do you think about the judging that's been going on lately? We've had a couple of decisions that have not been maybe, the best decisions.
Well, unless you're sitting at that ring and you're trying to be a judge, you have no idea what it's like. People see it at home. They get to watch it in slow motion, watch instant replay, watch it again. A commentator could be a crappy commentator, but because he likes that fighter and speaks up, and a little jab that hardly even hit him, but he was, whoa, there goes another jab. Whoa, well, now you believe this.
Right.
The judges are ringside. Is everybody perfect? None of us. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect.
I think you are.
Do the best they can? Thank you. Do the best they can? Yes. A lot of times what people don't understand too is when you're judging, you might have the referee in your way. You may not see the blows because the fighter's in your way.
Right.
So you can't assume those strikes hit. You can't stop and look at the monitor, and until they decide to put monitors ringside in front of every judge, so when you can't see, you can just look right down.
Well, they have monitors now.
No, they don't. Only some shows do.
Oh, okay.
It's not mandatory, and most states don't.
Okay.
They don't. New Jersey has the instant replay monitor, but no judge has a monitor at our show. You'll see tonight. Okay. The UFC doesn't either. I mean, the only ones that have monitors are the commentators and the guys that are there, ringside, the VIP guys. Okay. But the judges do not have monitors. So they don't assume that those strikes were hitting because they can see the back. The 2 judges across could judge it as scores because they see it. Okay. This guy can't. So now when it goes the other way, he may not see it. So it's tough. We had one of you guys, a media guy, bad-mouthing our officiating.
Whoa, don't.
Wait a minute. He was bad-mouthing our officiating in Jersey. So Nick Lembo said, I'll tell you what. Did you ever train? No, I never trained, but I know martial arts. Okay, you never trained. Did you ever fight? Nope. Well, how about getting your butt down to one of our shows? We'll let you sit ringside and shadow judge. The kid shadow judge, and he's a writer for an MMA, a pretty well-known MMA site. He shadow judged 5 fights. He was supposed to shadow judge 15 fights. After the 5th one, he got up and goes, I can't do this.
Can't do it, right.
He goes, I can't. Now, people are going to say, oh, that's bullshit, no way. You ask Nick Lembo.
Right.
Now the kid has apologized and is now is a good spokesperson for the sport, and he's decided to go the other way and say how hard it is to judge and referee. Jersey has a good rep. If you think about the last UFC that we had here, I think there was 63 actual scorecards turned in, and only 2 were different.
Okay.
And they're not close to each other where they're tapping each other going, what do you think? Let's do the same thing. They're across the ring. They're not looking at each other. It's done real quick. The referee runs around and gets the cards. Only 2 cards were different. And every one of those fights were good.
That's
a lot of the Jersey officials are being used in other states, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and I believe it's because we have a very good amateur program here. Our judges, our referees, and our fighters learn as an amateur and progress to get better. So when they're pros, they're pros. If some commissions are just starting out and legalizing this, they don't have any MMA referees or judges, so they're letting their boxing guys do it or letting someone come in to do it that they may not even know, and it's not working out so good.
Right. You seem very passionate about New Jersey's amateur program, and I think that's great because I think right now, since we don't have, New York, I think that New Jersey is going to be the foreground, is the front runner, and I think that's what is. I think it's great right now.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of these states are doing a great job. The states that Pat Pinella is one of the best commissioners out there, and he'll tell you right out, Dan, I don't know anything on MMA. I want to learn. Teach me. He had Nick come down to his first show. The UFC was there. I mean, was UFC in Maryland? I'm not sure. I mean, take that back. I'm not sure. And Nick went there for John Rollo did a big show. I'm sorry. And Nick went down there, brought some of his guys down. Their guys worked along with us. It was a great show, a learning experience. They have an open mind. That's what you need. You can't go into this and assume that because you're a boxing commissioner or a boxing referee or judge, you're just going to know this. Right. We have leg locks, arm bars, chokes. If a guy gets hit and goes to the ground, you don't stop the fight. It continues unless the guy's out. Right. In boxing, as soon as the guy goes down, there's a standing 8 count. So it's a lot easier to do a boxing referee. It's even easier to judge boxing because you only have to judge them standing up. Here, it's just so much stuff going on. You got to judge takedowns. You have to judge defensive, aggressive. You have to strikes, leg kicks. I mean, it's just everything. Submission attempts.
Would you ever want to come out of the cage and go into judging?
No. What I would like to do is go back to what I like to do the most, and that's training fighters. When I had my school, I had 5 champions at my school. We never had less than 3 belts during that 24 period, 24 fight period. I still train a couple amateur guys here and there, and that's what I really love to do. So I think when my time is done as a referee and I feel I'm not on my toes, I'm not quick enough to get in there, that's why I'm going to go back to doing that again, because that's what I really enjoy. Judging, no matter what you do, someone has something to say and they have an opinion. Unfortunately, a lot of these people that have opinions can wipe their ass with their opinion. In plain English. The ones that know the sport, know it, I accept their opinions. But the people that don't know, never trained, never sparred, just because you watch it on TV or because you're behind a computer, you don't know it.
Right.
You know, these guys they're in there, I mean, I've had cornermen say to me, you shouldn't have stopped that fight. And a fighter in the ring is going, don't listen to him, thank you very much. You know, and that's a cornerman. Now you got a guy at home on a couch sitting there, never trained in his life. Oh man, he should let him go, he could have knocked him out. Well, yeah.
Right.
You can also hurt the guy, you know, bad. This is a sport. This isn't cockfighting. That's why it has rules now, you know.
Well, do you have any decisions that you regret making?
I only have one, and it was the Brendan Vera fight. Okay. And I stopped that fight because I heard Brendan Vera verbally submit. He said, I asked him, I said, protect yourself. He did. He moved around a little bit. I said, he stopped doing it. He was getting hit again. I said, protect yourself again. All of a sudden, he yelled out. And when he yelled, I thought he yelled, I'm done. I'm done. He yelled, I'm okay. You're not supposed to yell anything. So now I learned a lesson from that. When I do my rules meetings with my fighters, I tell them all, if you yell out, it's a verbal submission. Don't talk to me. It's not your job to talk to me. I will not ask you any questions you have to answer. You know, I'll say, protect yourself, do it. You don't have to say, okay, ref, I'll protect myself. Just do it. You know, if you're being choked, I tell them, don't defend and give me a thumbs up. Continue. I'll watch you. I'll know when you're out. Right. You know, I don't want a guy to let go to give me a thumbs up and then he gets submitted because he gave me a thumbs up. So now I learned from that fight. You know, and Brendan and I have spoken since that fight, and everything's cool now. But back then I felt terrible after that because I heard him with that mouthpiece in his mouth yell, and to me it was a submission.
Well, I am a big fan. You have major supporters out there, and hopefully that you'll be in here for a really long time and then go back to your, training your fighters. But thank you so much for the interview.
It was nice to meet you.
It was great, and thank you for letting me take pictures with you and tap you out.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, check out our sponsor, MMAHQ.com. Daily deals, awesome products, but move fast. These deals are here today, gone tomorrow. Here's what you missed so far. Check them out, see what's on sale today.